All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to round 3 of the Pro Play Tour Invitational here in Orlando, Florida. I'm Alex Emo, joined by Joseph Rothschild, and we've got more SPYRAL.
Yep,
we've got more SPYRAL. We have Peter Tran. This is table 6, I believe.
Yep.
It was. Both of these players, one of them is EXO, I should say. The other one had a 2-round bye.
Oh, one is EXO, the other has just woken up,
Yes,
I think, probably.
basically. So he had a 2-round bye because he took first place at one of our other Pro Play Tour events. It is Mr. Steven Bronder. And Steven was playing, I believe he was on Striker Orcust, or was he on just regular Orcust back when he won?
Regular is putting it mildly. He was on an Orcust deck that was playing Mask Change 2.
Yeah, that's true. He was playing Dark Law Orcust, whatever. So
but it served him well, and he took the event.
He took the event. He won the first place cash prize. And for this event, he's on Dino.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the 7th most represented deck, for those of you who were around earlier today when we were talking about the individual meta on online simulators. I'm excited to see if it can keep up with, I think, what is, at this point in time, definitively one of the premier meta threats in SPYRAL.
Yeah, so let's go ahead and see what Dino can do against SPYRAL. We already saw Magical Musketeer do pretty well. Obviously, bricking Game 3 didn't help SPYRAL, but
yeah,
I mean, that's one of its weaknesses. I mean, it happens.
Hey, I mean, it does clean house, to be honest.
So let's go ahead and see where we're going to end up here. It's going to be exciting. The thing is, I don't know. I'm pretty sure Steven wants to go second. I mean, I don't know. I don't know his Dino build exactly.
Yeah, it's hard to say. Dino, of course, has extremely explosive opens, shockingly. I am a big fan of lists that are playing things like Paleozoic Morella to send cards like Survival Instinct to the graveyard and allow you to perform huge pop-offs both on your turn and your opponent's. However, Dinosaur has classically been an extremely strong OTK list with the ability to go second and flex cards like Shaddoll Fusion.
But both these cards are both very experienced,
yes.
Just very well versed to the game, so I'm excited to see where this ends up going. All right, so
1-for-1's a good start.
Starting for the 1-for-1. 1-for-1 is full combo with this deck, by the way.
Not only is it full combo, is that a Jet Synchron?
That is a Jet Synchron.
Wow.
Ooh, this is going to be spicy. I'm already liking this. So 1-for-1 is going to pitch this Jet Synchron. It's probably going to get the Quick Fix. Yep, going to get Quick Fix. Quick Fix is most likely going to add a copy of Big Red here, depending on how the rest of his hand is looking. Then you can just go ahead and link that off. And oh, it's going to go for Drone. Okay, that's also fair as well.
Fine, fine. This is a good normal summon, of course. It prepares the board for the double helix,
Yep.
allows you to know the top 3 cards of your opponent's deck. Ooh, is that an anti-spell in the opener? Gosh, are people maining this?
That's crazy that he's main decking. I guess, you know, to be fair, if you're expecting, like, SPYRAL Pendulum meta, like, that's a fair call, I suppose. But we're going to see Drone come down here on Peter's side. It allows him to look at the top 3 cards of Steven's deck. So he's going to reorganize them in any way he so chooses. And
Steven kind of smirks. Okay.
And as you alluded to earlier, we're just going to go ahead and go straight into double helix. And now we know what the top card is, so.
Let's see what he says. I think I heard monster out of him. Let's reveal.
It was a
it's
Quatless.
Coddles. No! Overtext on the top. That's the last place you want it.
And that's exactly one of the reasons why SPYRAL is so strong, because you effectively get to blank your opponent's draw for the next turn unless they have a way to, like, forcibly shuffle their deck, which is, like, unless you're playing, like, Thunder Dragon, I don't think you can do on turn 0.
Yeah. And you're probably not playing Thunder Dragon.
Yeah.
For what it's worth, I spent a little bit of the downtime, as few as it was, checking the list of decks that are played, and at least 2 people are on Thunder Dragon.
Wow. Kudos to them. Maybe we'll see them at some point. But
this is a premier event with money on the line, and they chose to enter with Thunder Dragon. I mean,
one of them was 1-0 after round 1, at least.
Oh, my goodness.
But in any case, getting back to the game here, we see Master Plan being special summoned off of the double helix. That is going to allow him to add the rescue to his hand. You're going to pitch the rescue to summon the Quick Fix back. And now Quick Fix's effect allows you to add a SPYRAL gear. Peter's going to go ahead and add a Big Red. Big Red can then resurrect the copy of Drone that is in the graveyard, and then he can make a rank 1 play just off of those 2 cards alone.
Do you think we're going to see the Recital Starling again?
It depends, because, like, some players do opt to it's a weird one, because it's like, do you want to play the DD Crow in your deck is the question. It's like, do you care about playing DD Crow and having an extra card that's like could be a brick but also a pretty good hand trap against a good part of the meta, or do you just want to play Princess Sprite? If you hit a spell card, cool. If not, whatever.
I mean, basically anything you send to the graveyard feels pretty good in this deck.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, even if you hit something that isn't necessarily a spell, it's usually fine in most instances. So we're going to see a Link Link. Oh, it is going to be a Link 2. Barricade Board Blocker.
Discarding a hand copy of Rescue, and that's 2 in the graveyard now.
Correct. So now we're going to see, so he used the effect of Barricade Board Blocker to discard that Rescue. Now he gets to activate the effect of Master Plan as well. Barricade Board Blocker, of course, gets to Chain Block, which is kind of cute.
Yep.
And he gets to go ahead and resolve this effect of Master Plan to search for a copy of Tough and a copy of Resort. Interesting going for the Tough here. I'm curious as to why that might be. Maybe he already has Agent. Maybe he's just like getting set up for next turn. Maybe he already has the Sleeper.
I mean, we've already expended the normal summon on something like a copy of...
It was Drone.
Drone, right.
Right.
Maybe we've got Assault, like you alluded to.
So we're going to Big Red back the Master Plan. That will get us the third and final the Rescue. Possibly could go for Assault here as well.
Yeah, this might actually be telling on yourself a little bit. With 2 copies of... Mission Rescue in the graveyard already, and aiming to get 2 more Master Plan searches over the course of the turn, it's likely you do find an Assault. And if that's the case, having more material on your side of the field for something like a Tri-Gate is more important than adding a potential Spiral that you aren't liable to use until next turn.
But he did opt for the 3rd Rescue, which is fine. Can we just admire the size of Peter's hand right now and how many cards there are? There's like 7 cards in
10-card hand.
Yeah. So now we can see Jet Synchron come back.
What a powerful card. Let's make that rank 1.
Yeah, so that's a nice reason why Jet Synchron's pretty cool in this deck is because it is a level 1. And so being able to just gives you another way to have another level 1. It helps facilitate Where Art Thou just a little bit easier. Because if you don't have a level 1, that could be a dead card. We're going to see Peter use the Resort now to search Super Agent.
Wow, we haven't seen the Sleeper search yet.
Not
or the Last
yet.
Resort.
Unless he already has it in hand, which is possible.
Yeah.
And he can just get the Last Resort via Quick Fix. He just wants to thin his deck as much as possible before using the Princess Sprite. So that way he can just help just slightly
Let's see Reborn.
higher the odds. If he hits... Ooh, okay, so...
Well, we know he's on Danger now.
Correct. He is playing Danger, and I think that's actually a very big piece of information for Steven that he's not on the Extravagance build because there is a pretty big split right now between, like, is one better than the other.
All right, it's Appaloosa time.
Yeah, so we're going to go ahead and Appaloosa here with 4 link worth of material. It's going to be 3 negates. I don't want to say only 3 negates.
We've seen a lot of Appaloosas for 2, at least in the previous round, and that's not very frightening. All you got to do is normal summon a monster and walk over it before making your plays.
Not too much. And with 3 rescues in the graveyard, Peter still has a lot of stuff he can do, and a Quick Fix as well. So we're going to summon out this copy of Super Agent by declaring the top card. Steven already knows it's correct, so he's not revealing it, even though he is supposed to.
Wow, that's a judge call.
It's an Overtext Quatless.
Yep.
And now we're going to use Rescue.
We still have a Master Plan target.
Correct.
Here comes the Assault.
Yep. Going to get that last copy of Master Plan out of the deck. Just think about the sheer number of cards that Master Plan just gets out of your deck.
I mean, Master Plan has drawn like 4 cards this first turn.
Mm-hmm.
There's Assault to bring back this copy of Quick Fix, and then we're likely going to add the Last Resort.
Well, he summoned the Quick Fix by pitching the Assault.
Right.
And now he's able to, if he wants to, he can actually banish that Assault for that Tough in his hand.
Yep.
And that would give him another link material worth of fodder, potentially being able to end on the quote-unquote God board that this deck can end on.
Of just being triple co-linked Tri-Gate, an Appaloosa for several, and Sleeper.
And also having a Phoenix and a... usually it's double Helix, but sometimes players can get the Cerberus, which is even better. Because that just further just insulates your board from any sort of destruction.
Oh, no, yeah. Nightmare Phoenix, Nightmare Cerb is far and away the best possible way you can be making that.
But double Helix is also fine, too. Like, I mean, then you can just use it again next turn. So,
to those of you in chat saying Steven should scoop, I don't think he's in any rush to do so. Dinosaur is an extremely quick, explosive deck and has the ability to blow out an opponent from almost any position. And more importantly, you're not preserving information by doing so because your Spiral opponent has already seen the top 3 cards of your deck, which includes a Quatless. Are you playing Quatless in anything else?
That's another one of the weird things about playing against Spiral is, like, because it breaks that barrier of, like, being able to blind scoop going into Game 2, it's weird because it's like, you could just take the risk and scoop before your opponent resolves the drone, and that way they don't know what you're playing. But, like, you don't know how big of a board they're going to end on, or if you, depending on what your hand looks like, if you can be able to play through it. So it's this really weird dimension to Spiral that a lot of people are going to have to get used to. Typically, I would say when the drone is coming out, you probably just let it go because...
Yeah.
you don't know how
is this
far
a
they can
rank
go.
4?
This looks like it.
What is happening with this board? Dweller,
Is that a Dweller?
turn 1.
Ooh.
Wow, expecting a very specific meta here today, are we?
I like it. I like it a lot.
I don't like it at all, but it really shuts the door on Steven.
So we're going to see another activation of a rescue here. I believe this is the...
That's the double helix.
Yep, that's the double helix.
And here's Sleeper.
Yep, so we had Sleeper the whole time.
Well, it's not as sexy as the perfect board, but it does contain Abyss Dweller, which is not something I can say about previous ones.
But see, the thing is, even with this board...
So now we know why they added the tough.
If you just have evenly matched, you can out this again.
Yeah.
Like, it's not the end of the world.
And again, I mean, Dinosaur is a deck that aims to break boards and go second. So how upset about this are you really?
Sure. So at the end phase here, we're seeing Peter shuffle back a copy of Tsuchinoko into his deck to fulfill the maintenance cost of SPYRAL Resort.
Oh, chat, did you see something? Did you see something in
Was
Steven's
that
deck?
a Dark Ruler no more?
They seem to think he has it. I don't know.
Ooh.
And here comes Abyss Dweller. Unfortunately, too early to use Dark Ruler.
It's an extravagance.
Okay, well, that's less cool. But, of course, could still have Dark Ruler.
If he does, I do know of a few people at this event that are main decking it.
It's not unreasonable either as Dinosaur because you can just attack into your opponent's monsters afterwards with an Ultimate Conductor.
Sure. Dinosaur really doesn't care about its extra deck too much. Steven just going to grab himself a couple of cards here.
Mm-hmm.
Does he have evenly?
He's got to have something.
It looks like he's calling battle phase.
He's kind of grinning a little bit. He might be giving it away.
Steven has such a good poker face, too, at
Womp.
times. He's got it.
Wow,
oh,
another
man.
on-camera evenly. How many of these are we going to see? What do you keep? Appaloosa?
Again, you know he's playing Dino. I feel like you keep Sleeper because, like, Appaloosa just loses to Ultimate Conductor Tyranno. As soon as you get two...
No way.
If you get a way to summon it out, like, it's just over.
I could not disagree with this more. What if you normal summon Overraptor now? Like, you're going to pop it with Sleeper. If you don't pop it with Sleeper, you have to pop Lost World right now, or else you are about to lose the game.
Yeah, Lost World's pretty good.
If you don't pop it with Sleeper, then they Miscellaneous Source in response to the Sleeper. You get to do whatever you want anyway. He's going to read Lost World. Lost World, for those of you at home, is an incredibly powerful card. When you normal a Dino, it summons a token to your opponent's side of the field, and you cannot...
I like this.
Wow, this
yes,
is cute.
this is good. So Peter's actually, in response, using the effect of his Rescue Engrave by banishing it to summon a copy of Super. He has another one.
Excellent. And this
here's
is
the
end of game, by the
Oviraptor.
way. You have to pop this right now, or you are losing. Absolutely must pop this. And even if you do, you might still be losing anyway. Lost World summons a token to your opponent's side of the field, and once they have a token, they can't target anything but tokens with card effects. And then, if a normal dinosaur monster would be destroyed, as a replacement effect, you can destroy a dinosaur in your deck. So what you do is you normal summon Overraptor, put a token on your opponent's side of the field, then use Overraptor's effect to destroy the token, summoning a dinosaur from your graveyard, and then popping off.
Now,
it looks like we're going for Sleeper just for the Lost World, which is probably fine.
I was going to say, I think that's fine because you're not fueling the graveyard with a monster, not only just for Ultimate Conductor Tyranno, but double Evolution Pill.
Yep.
And it's also, he gets to keep the Sleeper. Now, the thing is, if Sleeper dies, Peter won't get to summon a Super Agent from his deck, which
He's
is
got nothing
fine.
to destroy.
Right. So, I mean, but it's fine. I mean, Steven does have to get over a 2,800 body, and if he doesn't, I mean...
that looks like it's going to.
It looks like Steven's got away.
Do we have material for that? Is there a Miscellaneous Source in the hand that I don't know about?
Could you imagine? Like, think about his hand so far. It's been double Lost World, Extravagance evenly.
I mean, this is a pretty sweet open.
Oviraptor.
I mean, even if you pass back on Sleeper, I mean,
he just passed.
Yeah, even if you pass back on Sleeper, what is Peter supposed to do with so few cards remaining in the deck and in the extra? He's got what, like Jet Synchron? Are we going to do Spiral Beats?
Peter can... I think Peter can actually... no, without Sleeper, it makes it difficult. I don't think it's unimaginable that Peter can OTK here.
See, the problem is Steven's hand was so stacked, it just didn't have any dinosaur cards. We know the hand has a Quatless, which is just rotting in the grip. I mean, aside from this Overraptor, what are you getting?
And I think Peter's out of rescues as well.
Oh, for those of you in chat saying he must have had the Quatless, there's two scenarios in which that doesn't matter. Quatless is a dinosaur. If he doesn't have a hand trap, you can't use Ultra Evolution Pill in order to banish a non-dinosaur from the graveyard. And the Quatless is in the hand, stacked by the drone. He could just be playing one.
So Peter just taking a moment to think here. Not much going on in the grave. He does have that agent that could potentially be resurrected. Won't get like any value off of the destruction effect. I think he drew a Where Arf Thou for turn.
That's okay.
Yeah, here comes the Tuft that Peter searched last turn. He can blind call on this Oviraptor here.
And we're just going to battle phase. We're just going to do some damage. Is that a miscellaneous
Oh, no.
Saurus? Oh, no.
It's evenly on the top.
Ugh, yuck. Not good. What, are you going to attack into the evenly board and let him do it again? I mean, guess.
Yeah, so we're just going to go to battle here. So we're going to take 100 from that exchange because Tuff is 19, and then 28 from the sleeper. So that's going to put Steven down to 5,100 life.
Is this going to be sleeper beats deciding this game?
Potentially. I mean, the nice thing about this is Peter has another target for sleeper that he gets to keep the sleeper on the field.
Well, so you go to battle phase and you just play evenly as a soul charge, I suppose. Unless this is exactly Oviraptor.
Oh!
All right, looks like we're popping off. And let's go to game 2.
And Peter has seen enough. We are going to game 2. All right, so both players just shuffling up here. Again, this kind of goes back to the question I was asking before. If you know your opponent's playing a blind second deck, well, Dino's a little bit different than Musket, though.
Yeah.
Like, Musket, going first, Musket has, like,
nothing.
a lot.
Oh, there's souls. Yes.
Okay, so here's
first souls of the tournament, is it?
First souls of the tournament, at least for the feature match area. Ooh. So now we get to just showcase just how powerful this card is. So,
all right, Steven, did you draw Droll and Lockbird?
So for people who do not know, Magician Souls has an effect that for cost, you send a, I believe, level 6 or higher spellcaster from your deck to the graveyard.
Yep.
And then you get to special summon it to the field. And in this case, you get to dump Master Plan directly from your deck. And then it's amazing because then you can just revive the Master Plan and just start doing all your crazy Spiral shenanigans.
Yeah, by reviving the Master Plan, you get, of course, a copy of a spell you want in the graveyard into the graveyard.
And there's the Droll and Lockbird. This could be huge for Steven because Droll, like I said, it's being played in almost every main deck in this field solely to counter this deck. Spiral has had an issue with Droll ever since its inception, essentially, and we're going to have to see how Peter navigates this. Interestingly enough, Peter had an appointer of the Red Lotus in his hand.
What? He's been watching too many SEMO videos. Oh, my goodness. Oh, if you're Peter, what do? You can make Barricade Borg Blocker. I mean, there's just nothing. If Steven has any kind of competent board, it looks like a Kaiju alongside some other stuff. There's a UTC. I don't see an Oviraptor, though. Then it's just about over.
I mean, yeah, Dino is so proficient at being able to OTK. I liked how all 3 of the rescues were glued together in Peter's deck, by the way. That must – imagine drawing that.
Yeah. Well, then you end up like our previous Spiral game.
That's true. So, Peter special summoning the copy of Danger Nessie off the Jackalope that was hit off of the Danger Mothman effect. So, Peter does have some monsters on the board, but, like, are you just going to end on, like, a Masquerena and pass?
We're going for a 3.
We're going for a 3, so apparently not.
What 3 could you possibly want?
Curious?
Yeah, I mean...
Okay.
Is Magician Souls dark?
It is. It's a dark spellcaster. It's an insect.
Beast?
No,
what's Nessie, a sea serpent?
it's an aqua, actually.
Oh.
It's aqua insect spellcaster, I think. But they're all darks.
Sure.
And if I'm wrong, I'm sure Chad will correct us. You would think Nessie would be a sea serpent. All right, so I think Peter just showing that they were all different type but same attribute for Curious's summoning requirement.
I mean, this is fine.
I think Peter has a 1-for-1 in his hand, too.
Think how powerful this would have been. Ooh, chat's saying Curious Griffin.
Okay.
I mean, that... Oh, wait, is that a scrap golem? What is going on in this deck?
Is this scrap Spiral?
You know, I thought it was possible, like, based on the number of machines, but wow, that seems unlikely.
That would...
I mean, there's no other reason you'd be playing scrap golem, so.
Okay.
Was that a Mill of Resort?
That was a resort and second master plan, I believe.
Oh, yikes. Did that lose him the game?
I don't know. That's rough for sure, but I think Droll was still just as good. But okay, so
Curious Pass. I've been there, friend.
So Peter kept a hand of 1-for-1 Jackalope, so he's got at least that for next turn.
Oh, there's an Ointer.
Yep, there's a pointer of the Red Lotus, and so
what do we call? I mean, the extravagance for sure.
So Peter's going to take 2,000 life points here because I believe that is the cost.
You're the appointer master. What on earth does this card do?
So you pay 2,000. You look at your opponent's hand, and then you banish a card from their hand. I think it's for like 2 turns
until your opponent's next end phase.
Okay, so basically 2 turns.
Well, so just 1, right?
Opponents. Okay, yeah, so it's 1. Yeah.
Yes.
But okay, so
Ooh.
I don't know if you saw Steven's hand. It was double Dogeron, double Ultimate Conductor Tyranno.
This is awful.
The funny thing is, though,
how do you? I mean, is Peter gonna really lose to crash my Dogeran into your Dogeran summon UTC pass? Are you kidding me?
Conductor Tyranno pops something in the hand, correct?
It can, but who cares? Is the last card in the hand a Dinosaur?
Well,
we're gonna look real quick about what a pointer
Yeah, I think
does.
they're gonna just clarify on a pointer, and this might be like the whole like ruling issue with it. It's an old card. It doesn't have PSCT.
Yeah. And I mean, this was the issue with the card when it was first hyped, is that it actually does something different than what people assumed.
Conductor can destroy something in your hand, correct?
Yeah.
So
if the last card is a Dino, you know, it's pretty good.
But what's interesting about this is, can't you can stop them from linking potentially.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, so that's actually like pretty strong.
I mean, it's strong provided the card in hand is a Dinosaur. Which,
which
you know.
So this actually could be enough. I mean, 1-for-1 Jackalope is still does 1-for-1 discard?
It does.
Or is it send?
Oh, do you mean will it trigger a...
Does it trigger the danger? Yeah.
Oh, this is something I should probably know.
I think we should both know this, but it's...
folks, we don't play Yu-Gi-Oh!
Send versus discard, such semantics.
It is send.
Yeah.
Thank
it's
goodness
send.
for that.
Okay, so it will not trigger the danger. But, okay, so let's think about the play pattern here while they're trying to figure out a pointer.
Chad, do you know the card in the hand?
In Steven's hand?
It's another Tyranno.
It's another Tyranno. Yeah.
Okay. So it's Tyranno Extravagance in the hand?
So
okay, then this is actually quite strong.
So it looks like a pointer does add the Extravagance back to Steven's hand at the end of his turn.
Oh, yeah, Chad, saying it needs a monster, not a Dino. Yeah, I know. I'm saying Dino because his deck is Dino.
Right. So, okay, so here comes the 1-for-1.
That's a good one.
So we get quick fix.
I'm going to look at the graveyard real quick. Yeah, there's a lot in there.
I think now what's interesting is, okay, so if you go quick fix, get big red target master plan. You could Conductor Tyranno there, flip them both down. Master plan can't trigger, and he can't link. Does his turn just end?
Maybe. I mean, it depends on what else is in the hand, but I mean that's a pretty choice time for it to happen.
What did he draw for turn? Is the question, because we knew he had 1-for-1 Jackalope and he's used both of those cards. Oh, it looks like rescue.
Oh,
I think
that's pretty
he's going
good.
For Link Karibo. Okay, so you get to keep a monster on the field, but is that going to matter?
All right, we're going to bring back this copy of Quick Fix. Then we're activate Quick Fix.
That's fine.
We have a monster in hand. Yeah, so this is pretty.
This is better because Conductor Tyranno doesn't really do much here.
Well, it kind of does
at the moment.
Yeah,
right.
if you normal summon this copy of Drone, then it does in fact do something.
But he's going to link off. He's just going to keep linking to try to avoid this Ultimate Conductor Tyranno. So now we're going to go I like this. So you go Cerberus, pitch that.
And it's lights out for Conductor.
Right,
okay.
And now you have a way to resurrect your master plan as well, because you pitch the rescue. So that was a great draw.
Yeah.
Again, Cerberus is a card that not all the Spiral decks play, so I wasn't 100% sure. But
same.
Cerberus,
I mean, you've seen it cut in almost everything that's playing like the Nightmare lineup, but it's so much better in Spiral because it can protect your Trigate.
Now, the rough part about this is what Peter's putting on the top of Steven's deck doesn't matter because Steven has Extravagance. So he's going to get all 3 of these cards.
Yeah. But it's a pretty good way for you to understand what you need to be playing around.
Yes. So at least he gets the knowledge of knowing what's coming.
Well, provided that the card on the very top is dead after Drone, which I think is a pretty safe bet. If you can put up 1 spell negation and just negate the copy of Extravagance, you can effectively lock Steven. Like, what is Steven going to do? Summon Conductor with 1 Dinosaur in graveyard? Seems unlikely.
So here we go. We're going to go Barricade Board Blocker, and Steven has seen enough. We are going into game number 3, ladies and gentlemen.
Wow.
And then picked up round 2. So maybe we'll see some Jeff Leonard action a little bit later. Steven is going first.
He's going first,
okay.
and he's ripped a sweet one.
Yeah, extravagant. He's said extravagance all 3 games.
Hey, I mean, that's the key to playing any of these decks.
Yeah. Just always draw
laughing about
extravagance.
it.
Yeah. You know, sometimes you draw it.
Chat, I know you're excited for Jeff. We'll try to get him on. He's playing spicy stuff.
So extravagance resolves. Steven on 6 cards now.
Let's see, Overraptor. There
Fossil
it is.
Dig, that's an Overraptor.
At least. All right. You know, did you ever, your opponent activates Fossil Dig and they get Miscellaneousaurus? When that happens, you go, I see, I've lost the game.
Oh, absolutely.
We're already done. Oh, and
the
Lost World.
Lost World.
Folks,
wow.
you're going to get to see the play today.
This is as gassed as his first hand from game 1.
And the difference is he doesn't have to contend with a bunch of nonsense. There's Miscellaneousaurus.
Was that Miscellaneousaurus?
Not even risking it. Let's fire the Overraptor.
All right.
He says, yeah, 1-2, baby.
Miscellaneousaurus protecting the I like that.
Bandai token.
That's perfect. Yeah, Miscellaneousaurus just bestowing all the dinosaurs with the protection, I believe, from activated effects. Is that how Miscellaneousaurus is worded?
No, it's aren't affected by your opponent's cards.
Oh,
effects.
okay.
But it's only dinosaurs you control.
Correct.
So the graveyard effect of Baby Ceratosaurus is still able to be ashed.
So we're going to get Baby Ceratosaurus here.
And then we're going to target the token. Hey, that's fun, isn't it? We're going to do the replacement effect.
Whoever thought of this interaction?
I mean, whoever did really deserves a raise. It's almost the singular thing keeping Dinosaur meta relevant years after it's been released.
Like, just imagine being in R&D and like, yeah, this works.
Yeah, this is fine.
Yeah. This is one of like the things that just makes Yu-Gi-Oh so unique, though.
Giant Rex. All right, from here you can do a whole lot. If you're Peter, I don't think you've boarded into Nibiru, so I don't think you're fearing that if you're on Steven's side of the field.
I mean, Peter could have fully expected to be going first.
Yeah.
So he could have like boarded out of like a lot of things, but.
All right, Steven, what do you got?
The Lithosagem!
Thank you for saying it first, so I didn't mess it up.
Oh man, this
I was
going to
guess Lithiocasm.
Huge. So Lithosagem coming off the ban list, now limited.
What card do you think he's going to banish?
So you get to banish 3.
Yeah. What do you think? What do you think the ones are?
Oh, okay. He's going for the Scrap Wyvern, which
well, we're not going to get to see the Scrap plays this game, chat.
I think that's good considering Peter would be going second. He's going for the Boral Sword, removing any sort of OTK potential.
If there's a Trisbania, that's a pretty good one too. Is that a Zombie Stein? Oh my God, this extra is loaded.
Linkuriboh.
Sure.
That's an interesting one. If Steven ends up winning this, I will be very curious to interview.
Linkuriboh is a card that could potentially reduce damage. And then we'll trigger a whole bunch of effects.
Yeah, we're going to get a lot of effects here. So for those of you who aren't familiar with Lithosagem, you destroy 2 monsters in your hand, one of which is an Earth monster. And you get to, this is all one effect, which is wild. You summon the Lithosagem, and then you also get to banish 3 cards out of your opponent's extra deck. So it's kind of like the Fusion Trishula.
Yeah, and I think this is it. We've got 1 set card, a Lithosagem, and Dolka. Dolka is kind of Appaloosa when you think about it. Now, Peter can't target any of his opponent's stuff. The reason he banished Linkuriboh is because then he can't link away the token. And Magician Souls.
There's a Magician Souls.
I don't know. I think you might Dolka this.
I think you Dolka this.
Well, does it send for cost or effect?
I mean, it's resolving, whichever the case is. But there's a Sanctum.
To those of you saying he forgot the baby effect, I mean, it's very possible that he's just straight up not playing enough babies. This is, if nothing else, an extremely greedy list. I mean, it's on Sanctum, for God's sakes.
Talk about the blowouts. He doesn't even need to use the Dolka for the souls. He can just go for Scythe. And, like, what does Peter do? Like, Spiral is so reliant on the extra deck to do a lot of things. And
oh, my gosh.
Peter has another appointer.
Wait, you have to pass, right?
Oh, and he drew the Scrap Golem.
Oh
my God. He has Assault, Last Resort, Scrap Golem, and then I think there's an appointer, and I think he has a second trap, but I'm not sure what that is.
Oh, jeez. This is really hard to watch. I mean, this is like every Garnet in the deck, plus a bunch of cards that because he was expecting to go first.
I think that's the second master plan in his hand.
Goodness.
Oh, my
He was talking about
God.
the token real quick. He's like, what are my options with this token? Very little, I'm afraid to say.
Taking a quick read of Lithosogem, I don't think it does anything else relevant. I think it's pretty much done its damage. Man. I mean, that's a reason to play Dino, too, is that you can play Lithosogem. So let's see what he does. It looks like he's going to tribute for the Scrap Golem.
I have been there.
Okay.
I've been there. Scrap Golem is a monster.
So he can, like, make a link to here?
Not under Scythe, he
okay.
can't.
Oh, yeah, he can't do anything.
He's going to try and draw a couple
So
of cards now that Dolka's out of the way.
Scrap Golem and Dolka, funny enough, have the same attack.
Unfortunately, Dolka does not benefit from Lost World. They both go down.
But Peter gets to use the effect of Magician's Souls here and draw 2 cards. So
Maybe.
This is the other reason why the card is so powerful. Just being able to just clear your hand of these like bricky cards, like Assault. In this case, a Point of the Red Lotus, I suppose. But like Rescue, if you have like copies of Rescue in your hand, that's really big. I cannot believe attacking with Scrap Golem was like actually relevant. And now he has the Assault for the master plan in his hand. How is this coming together?
Wow, I'm shocked. This is, I mean...
The thing is, he can't do anything because he's under
Yeah, he
Scythe.
can't do anything this
like,
turn, but what's Steven going to do?
Could you imagine if he didn't have Scythe, though? Like, he would actually have been able to play through this.
Yeah. And I believe they're both actually at 8,000 life points, correct?
No. Oh, yeah, because we never reset them from the other game.
Yeah, it was just an anointer previously.
Oh, wait a minute.
Uh-oh, that's a problem.
Was Lost World reducing Scrap Golem's attack?
Decreases the attack of Dolka, too. Dolka's not a dinosaur.
Oh, it's a dragon. Oh, so
Yeah.
they're the same. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. We forget that. Those Evil Czars are dragons. Okay, so this is interesting. So Peter equipped the master plan to his last resort, and so this allows master plan
And
to...
as we go to banish cards, something bad is about to happen.
Yeah, but the thing is, he can just flip it down. That's fine. Never mind. I was going to say, this is an interesting play that you do in Spiral when you're trying to just survive the turn, because like last resorting something like a master plan or a double helix is actually pretty good.
Yeah.
Right?
So we're miscellaneous sourcing to get a copy of Overraptor. We're triggering the effect of Lost World to get a token. We're going to Overraptor probably for a Quatless, and then we will make UTC and attempt to go into Ultimate Conductor Tyranno in battle phase as time expires, I believe.
Yeah, and this is big because UCT can flip that the master plan over, because it doesn't target, it doesn't destroy, it'll flip it. Last resort will go to the graveyard, and the Ultimate Conductor Tyranno will just be able to do a ton of damage. Steven might just be looking for a way to also just ensure that he can maybe just game this turn as well.
Oh, and this is my favorite.
There it is.
Pensatag.
Pentastag.
Oh, I'm not going to say this correctly. This card gives the monster it's linked to Piercing. So if you give it to an Ultimate Conductor Tyranno and then attack into a 0 defense token, you win the game.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Switching Lithio to attack position. Yeah, this looks like it's going to be just about it.
Hey, Joseph, what's Souls' defense?
I'm pretty sure. Now, I'm not positive. I'm pretty sure it's 0.
Okay, so...
and he's going to do the replacement effect. No. Not only are you taking 3,500, I'm going to go for it again. Oh, no.
This Lost World is such a crazy card.
It's insane. Just absolutely bonkers.
Oh, my God. So Ultimate Conductor Tyranno attacking into the token, but instead of destroying it, he is actually destroying a card out of his deck instead, correct?
That is correct. A dinosaur from the deck.
So he's destroying the copy of Petite Pteranodon. And so now we're going to go for a Pankratops. Why not?
Pank is so strong, and it's able to pop the last resort here, and I think that spells the end of the game. We can use UTC to clear the entire board, and then, of course, we can walk in with any of our remaining monsters.
I don't even think he needs to.
Yeah. We'll just start attacking.
Yep.
Let's go for Magician Souls. That's a hot 3,500.
So that's a 7,000 right now he's already taken?
I think he's using the replacement
from
the effect of UTC.
Oh, okay.
But doing this math doesn't particularly matter. We'll be able to pierce over this monster for just a little bit, and then we'll be able to pop it. And that should be time in the round. Our time is probably a little different than our judges' time right now. So they may have maybe between 1 and 2 minutes as a result. He says, I'm going to go directly face, and that's going to be it.
And Steven Bronder winning his round 3 feature match with Dinosaur.
Dinosaur,
oh my
man.
God.
Dinosaur's really strong. Like we said, it's the 7th most represented deck in online play right now for a reason. It can clear these huge, unbelievable board states, and we're at a very unique time in which Lightning Storm really doesn't answer Spiral boards. It does answer Altergeist boards, but right now, the removal spell of choice being evenly matched means the decks that blind second have an all-purpose removal tool for these unbelievable game states.
But I think this is also